What's up, everybody? My name is Tanner with the Vision Project, and welcome to Craft Time number 1. Here's the thing. You and I, we are creative people. We are people that loves to be creative and storytell. Storytelling is a passion of mine, and so I'm going to give you 5 ways to storytell correctly, to do it in a good way, to do it in a manner where you can be successful. For me, I'm a filmmaker. I love making films. Now, I've only made 2 that have officially gone out, but I have others that I'm currently in the process of doing. But these are 5 things that I have found are helpful for me in the process of creating my story. Now, just for clarification, I'm going to be giving the perspective of what it looks like to be a filmmaker with storytelling, but you can take any of these points and turn them into your needs as a storyteller with what you do. Number 1 is snack time. Go to Costco, find yourself one of these, and enjoy yourself. Really just treat yourself, huh? Okay, these things always smell really bad at first, but they taste so good. You know, I'm supposed to be telling you how to storytell, but this is just so good. You know, I should probably start the video so they don't click out, you know? Get uninterested and then swipe up and then go to a video of like PewDiePie or something like that. Do Perfect. You know, I don't blame him for Do Perfect though. Love Do Perfect. So the first thing that I really look at when it comes to storytelling and what makes it successful is relevancy. That's one of the first things that I really look at, is how does this relate to the person that is going to be watching this. Now for me, again, it's going to be for filmmaking. And so I put myself in the shoes of, okay, how does this look to me visually? Not only that, but how do I fit in the character's shoes? And so I'm developing the story based on how I could make somebody feel through the screen. Now for you, that might be through dance, that might be through painting, whatever it might be. Your story, it's going to impact somebody's heart some way and somehow if you do it the right way. If you have some sort of relevancy to the image that impacts and touches somebody's heart. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Put yourself in the audience's shoes and think about who your audience might be and how it might impact them. Number 2, I'd have to say this would be structure. Structure is so important. Even when I look at, you know, the art of dance, my wife, she teaches dance and she's a wonderful choreographer. And wonderful choreographers, what they do, you know, talented professionals, they create a story within the art of dance. They will have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know, if you've ever watched World of Dance, they look and they see, you know, you had great movements, but where's the story? Where's the emotional grab? And so that's kind of something that, you know, professionals are even looking at and trying to chase after. So people who have made it even understand that structure and, you know, having some sort of base foundation is very important for your story. If you have a story in pieces but no foundational structure, it's just going to crumble. Even behind the scenes, you know, with the technological things, with, you know, organizing and trying to get people together and people who, you know, might not be committed or not, that's going to make your project crumble if you do not have structure. So number 2 is structure. Number 3, I would have to say, is brand. How are you unique and original and different from people? That is what really makes you stand out. This is why brand is so important, because you're just going to mesh with other people and do something that people have done before, and that doesn't interest people. When it comes to the Christian realm, I think of The Chosen immediately. It just pops right in my mind, because even their system is different from the way that other Christian projects have done things. For them, they are a fan-funded project, and so that's far different than what anybody has ever done. Then on top of that, they film far differently than the way that other people might have in the Christian realm, and so they have originality. They have a uniqueness to them that interests a huge audience. I mean, over millions and millions and millions of people now. And so for you and I, when we are trying to create and storytell, we need to be unique. We need to be, our own selves, but also create our own branding in the way that we would want to interest others And that's how you do it. That's why brand is so important. Number 4 is your project or your story realistic? This is a very, very important question, and honestly one of the first questions that I ask myself, because this is the foundation of how the rest of the project or the rest of the story goes. If this isn't realistic and it can't be done, then I shouldn't try to force myself into doing something, because it's just going to be a sloppy mess, and there's not going to be any structure, which was number 2. So realism with characters, with the story, is super important. Why? Because that matches with number 1, relatability, and people can understand the realness of a character, the realness of even emotion. So when you're looking after, creating a strong, emotional, powerful story, number 4, being realistic is so important. Number 5, this one hits way too close to home because it is one of the most challenging obstacles to get through, and that is commitment. Whether it's commitment with yourself and your own self-motivation with trying to get this project together, whatever it might be, it's really hard to be self-motivated and to do something that you desire to do, but you feel almost insecure and don't want to put things out because you feel like you're going to be judged, or you feel like it's not going to be good enough. You have to commit 110%. If there's any sort of fraction of a delay in you, this project isn't going to be as great as it should be. And I'm just going to tell you that now, because I myself am in a pit right now where I'm like, do I commit to this? Do I not? With several short films. And so that's something that I'm trying to say, okay, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to go. Because once you're in it for good, and you're in it for the run and how it's going to be, and you're committed. Commitment is so important, because if you don't have that, then you don't have good structure. Then it won't be as realistic. All of these things bind together. All 5 points, they all make sense with one another in a unified message and a unified mission. That's it. Like, once you have the structure, the relatability, the realism, and all of these sorts of things like uniqueness and originality, you will have a successful story no matter what. And I can guarantee that right now. It doesn't mean it has to blow up. A successful story means that it impacts lives and impacts hearts, motivates others to do great things, and this will be great. I can promise you that. So no matter what you do, if you have these 5 things, these are just 5 fundamental things to make your story great. And so I want you to be great. We all want to be great. We want to do things for the kingdom. I myself, as a child of God, as a Christian, desire to show the love of Christ through storytelling. And these 5 things are great things for me even to examine as I create stories and develop them as well. So I hope you can take this and you can start developing. You can start being your creative self that you would love to be and desire to be as you storytell as well. Let's get out there and let's be crafty. See ya.
Yeah! On the way, on the way, on the way. On the way, on the way. On the way, on the way, on the way. On the way, on the way. On the way, on the way, on the way. On the way, on the way. On the way, on the way, on the way. What? On the way, on the way. I still remember when he revived me. He rushed in and put me on his divine team. A friendless wannabe, hoping someone would find me. Never thinking that I'd be looking up toward this high king.